Hi, everyone. This document is one that is really critical and important to our program. And I want you to really read it and digest and take seriously um, and remember as we move forward in this course, this quarter, that this is a document that was authored by a Pierce colleague in early childhood education, a professor who was part of our program for many, many years and captured how we as a department really described quality children's literature and curriculum for children between the ages of birth and age 8. This document describes the difference between fantasy and reality and what role it plays in the lives of young children who are still in the pre-operational stage of development. And if you're unsure of the stages of cognitive development as defined by Jean Piaget, I do encourage you to read up on it a little bit before you get too far into this document. But here, let me just do a little description. So in the ECE department at Pierce College, we pretty much illuminate all fantasy-related books and curricula for young children, with the belief that we are supposed to be credible and reliable sources of information for young children. If we are telling young children that animals can talk or that people can fly, we are giving young children some misinformation, and we're not saying that this is the only way to view child development or the only way to interact with young children. But we are just saying that this is a tool for you to have in your back pocket when you are selecting books and curriculum that aren't meaningful for young children. So we define fantasy as something which can't happen in the real world, such as superheroes talking animals, situations in which something is magically or supernaturally transformed into something else. We don't have those books in our curriculum because we are convinced by solid early learning theory, primarily Jean Piaget, that with his theory of cognitive development, that children take things literally and that children are fooled by appearances. So we don't want to confuse kids, and we don't want them to have some misconception about the real world. So we have eliminated those things from our book selection and from our curriculum. This could be a little unsettling, considering some of your favorite childhood books probably do contain talking animals or magic or superheroes. And that's okay. We're not saying don't ever allow children to see these books. We're just saying in the classroom with young children, educators have a responsibility to be credible and reliable sources of information. So the next question that usually comes up as we're reviewing this document is, what about kids' own imaginations and their own make-believe play? It's not our job to stop that, their imagination, their imaginary play. But our job is to support children's creative play, because what we know about young children is when they are engaged in the imaginary world, they know that it's their imagination. If we engage them in our imaginary world, they see us as credible and reliable sources of information of what we are saying is true. So they know the difference between their own imagination and what really can happen in the real world. So I encourage you to support children's imaginative play, but you shouldn't be really using your own fantasy stories. We're going to discuss this in this week's discussion board. I'm excited to hear what you all have to say and what your take is, if you agree or disagree on this perspective, and why or why not. I certainly also don't mean to infer in any way with what people do in their own homes. So our music and literature, all of these things that are also culturally based is important. And families share their favorite books and music. They share their culture, traditions with their children. But in the classroom of young children, the teacher wants to be credible, reliable source of information. So when you're, thinking about this, be reflective on what's your priority and, can you separate your personal life from your classroom life? And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what everyone has to say. So see you online. Thanks.